Is Kamala Harris drunk? Well, Kamala Harris heavily slurs in a bizarre 5-minute rant during an interview with the National Association of Black Journalists. We're uncovering this story and so much more here on Beyond the Headlines, only on Vigilant News. This segment is sponsored by Goldco, helping Americans protect their retirement and savings with gold and silver at bnngold.com. I'm Elijah Schaefer. Let's start the show. Our top story today comes from the gatewaypundit.com, where Kamala Harris was allegedly drunk during an interview. Now, many of you may have been drunk at least once in your life, and you know what it sounds like. Well, clips are coming out, as Christina Lila reports, that is Kamala Harris actually drunk? Well, Kamala Harris on Tuesday participated in a Q&A with the National Association of Black Journalists in Philadelphia. Of course, the moderators at the NABJ treated Kamala Harris much better than President Trump when he participated in a Q&A with them in Chicago in July. Now, Harris heavily slurred during a bizarre 5-minute rant about the total nonsense on Tuesday. Is she inebriated? Well, we're going to watch some amazing clips from this, but just watching her initial interview, it's kind of crazy considering the fact that I have been on shows where we've been drinking, and this is what it sounds like. Listen.
It's a crying shame. I mean, my heart breaks for this community. You know, there were children, elementary school children, who it was school photo day. You remember what that's like? Going to school on picture day? Who were dressed up in their best, got all ready, knew what they were going to wear the night before, and had.
All right, so I don't waste your time. You know what it's like? This is t-shirts and yeah, exactly. All right, that's being inebriated, but that's not the most important part, because it's the newest ad. And here's the thing. Now, Kamala Harris is talking about breaking down the family system during this time. She says working people often have to decide to either be able to work or afford childcare, aka she's actually promoting the system of two parents working, which is one of the main systematic issues that's destroyed our country. Listen to this.
It is sadly the state of affairs in our country that working people often have to decide to either be able to work or be able to afford childcare. Like they can't afford childcare and actually do the work that they want to do because it's too expensive and it doesn't actually level out in terms of the expense versus the income.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be like that. Nobody explains to Kamala Harris that the Federal Reserve, hijacking our economy in the early 1900s by blackmailing one of our presidents, ended up creating this new usury system, which was always outlawed in Christian countries. Now, these users, some call them the banking cartel, have created a system of inflation, which makes our money worthless and requires men and women to work. This has broken down the hierarchy of gender roles in our families. And of course, she promotes that. Now, she also offered New Generation some advice about a grocery store. I don't know exactly what she was talking about, but this word salad isn't uncommon for her, even when she's sober.
Is the price of groceries still too high? Yes. Do we have more work to do? Yes. And I will tell you, I do believe that I offer a new generation of leadership for our country that is about, in particular, turning the page on an era that sadly has shown us attempts by some to incite fear, to create division in our country.
You know, grocery stores create division, and therefore, it's got to be a stressful job. So I don't want to be too judgmental, right? I mean, I've had times in my life where I've drank too much, too often, and usually it's during a time of a tragedy or somebody dies, or sometimes it just becomes a bad habit. But the remarkable way that she manages to say nothing and everything at the same time, it's almost like I wish she was drunk, because in that case we have something to blame. But if this is her sober, then what's the excuse? Now, I want to remind you, this woman might actually become the president of the United States, but it's not even her I'm worried about. Joe Biden is still in office, and experts are worried that he might jam in some last-minute policy, like raiding our retirement or putting in this taxation on unrealized gains. Basically, your money's not safe, which is why Americans like myself are trusting Goldco, the #1 trusted gold company in America, to guarantee that we have our investments, our retirement, our IRAs whatever that is, even just some of our savings of cash invested in real gold and silver, which has obviously stood the test of time, continues to rise in value and compound decade over decade. But right now, when you go to vnngold.com, you can get in contact with the best precious metals company with hundreds of 5-star reviews, have transacted hundreds of millions of dollars of investments, and they'll give you a free 2024 gold kit plus a bonus 10% instant match of bonus silver when you invest today. You're not going to want to wait. Do not wait until it's too late. Go to VNN Gold, that's VNNGOLD, click the link in the description, get your investor kit, and also get that bonus match. So it's basically like free money right into your pocket. Go to VNNGold.com, VNNGOLD.com today. Now, as I mentioned, Kamala Harris also was asked if people were better off 4 years ago than they are today. And just listen.
Are they better off now than they were 4 years ago?
So when we came into, well, first of all, let me just say it is good to be with the National Association of Black Journalists, and I thank you for the work you do and that your members do every day. It is very important that we ensure that this organization and your members always have the resources and the platforms to deliver the voices that must be heard. So I thank you for hosting me today. 4 years ago, when we came in during the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. We came in during the worst public health epidemic in centuries. We came in after the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. And a lot of it due in large part to the mismanagement by the former president as it relates to COVID and obviously January 6th. And we had then a lot of work to do to clean up a mess. As of today, we have created over 16 million new jobs, over 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. We have the lowest Black unemployment rate in generations. We have invested in small businesses, and they're to the benefit of many people, but including Black small businesses, some of the highest rate of creation of new Black small businesses.
All right. Yeah, Pacino. I didn't order one of those today. It's so funny. She didn't say that everyone's better off. She just said that like some things are doing astronomically record-breaking. I give up. She's not really saying anything. In fact, we're all worse off in many ways, not just financially, but spiritually as well. Now, if you like this video, don't forget to drop a like, comment your opinion on what you think. Is she really drunk? But if you want to get more videos like this right to your inbox, go ahead and sign up for our newsletter by going to vigilantnews.com, or you can also just follow us on Rumble and on X. We are at Vigilant News. I'm Elijah Schaefer. Thank you for watching Beyond the Headlines, only on Vigilant News. Have a great rest of the week. May God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.